President Trump is on the verge of a second summit with North Korean leader Kim Jong Un.
Yeah, the president says he expects a positive outcome. Of course, a stark contrast to what many others are saying, including his top diplomat tonight. KCAL 9 political reporter Dave Bryan now with the very latest. Dave?
Yeah, the president will certainly have his hands full at the Vietnam summit this week. There's no question about that. It got a lot to prove, with plenty of skeptics questioning what progress, if any, will come out of the summit. President Trump's determined to convince the North Korean leader that the future success of his country will be determined by economic progress, not nuclear weapons. Then it will be up to Kim Jong Un to decide. Now, President Trump and Kim are preparing for a second summit in Vietnam. Kim arrived in Hanoi by train, and before leaving Monday, Mr. Trump described his immediate and ultimate goals.
I think we'll have a very tremendous summit. We want denuclearization.
Some Democrats, however, are fearful about what kind of concessions President Trump will be making.
The president can't be too naive or too eager to reach a deal that gives him that photo op again, but doesn't achieve the complete denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula.
And even the president may now be moving the goal line for what actually constitutes denuclearization. Apparently, he now believes that means no more nuclear testing.
I'm not in a rush. I don't want to rush anybody. I just don't want testing. As long as there's no testing, we're happy.
In fact, the regime has yet to give up a single weapon or even disclose how many it has.
They have the capability of detonating a nuclear device.
Chun In-bum is a former lieutenant general of the South Korean Army.
Have you seen in the past 8 months any step North Korea has taken to denuclearize?
No, I have not. So I think the first summit was the start of a long process that we will have to go through.
President Trump, however, may find himself distracted from the work at hand at the Hanoi summit.
Immigrants are welcome here.
That's because back home in Washington, the House of Representatives is expected to vote Tuesday to block the president's national emergency declaration for the border wall. But the president's nightmarish scenario at the border is not convincing 58 former senior national security officials, who signed on to a scathing bipartisan letter attacking the president's emergency declaration, saying it is at odds with the administration's own data and estimates. Now, the president may also be distracted by his former lawyer and fixer Michael Cohen, who's expected to give testimony in Congress during the next 3 days. Testimony related to the Russian meddling investigation and the Trump campaign, some of which will be taken in public session. You can be sure President Trump will be very interested in that conversation, Susie. It's going to be an interesting 2 or 3 days coming up.
You bet, Dave.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.